Good morning, everyone. By golly, it's early. Wanted to come on here and see if anyone wanted to take a ride with me today. I'm going back to a company called Cameron. It's actually in a little town called Ville Platte, Louisiana. About 2 hours from my home. And we got some valve testing for a client that I have to witness. And this place brings memories back to me. I have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have to be out the door by 2:30, so I can get on location at 4 o'clock in the morning. And this is some lonely country roads. The only thing that's out here is me, maybe one or two more vehicles on my trip down this road, and a lot of wildlife. One thing you gotta really be careful about is you don't know what's gonna be in front of you on the road, because all of the rabbits, the possums, everything you can think of will meander on the road, and you have to be careful so you don't run over them. Yeah, I said that this place brings back some difficult memories for me, is because on November the 21st, the day my son passed away, Devin Benoit, that's where I was. I got up that morning at 2 o'clock, being very quiet to leave my home and get out by 2:30 to be to work for 4. And that's when I got the terrible news that no father in this world would ever want to get. And that's when I got the call that they had found Devin in his bed, passed away. So I was here yesterday and today, and that'll be my last day this week. And then I come back on Monday to finish off the job, possibly even Tuesday. And I wanted to share with you, that's what I was doing. And when I got there yesterday, I tell you what, it was harder for me to handle it than I expected. I actually talked to Devin, which I do every day. I talk to him while I'm driving. I think that kind of helps me. It's just that he don't talk back. We've gotten a lot of signs that he still comes and visits. I really do believe. And some people don't believe in that, and some people do. And I can tell you, I am a believer now. My parents have passed away, my mother, my father, and I don't know if I could tune in to the signs as well as I've tuned in to my son. A lot of pictures were taken, like my dogs. We had Devin cremated, and we placed his urn inside the entertainment center where our television is, and we have quite a few dogs, so they would walk up to the glass door and look inside it, not thinking much of it, then started thinking, I wonder if they see him. Well, I found a picture. No, I take that back. So Rudy, one of my dogs, had an eye injury, and we had a cone on him, and he would walk up to the door and stay there for about a minute or two, just looking inside the door, and then walk away. Oh, there was a dog. Almost. Ooh, that was close. I don't know if you've seen it in the screen or not. That's what I was telling you about. You don't know what you're going to pass on this road at night. So Rudy was staring at the glass door, and I snapped a photo of him staring at it. And nobody can tell me different, but there's an image of Devin in the door staring at Rudy. I know some people might not believe in this stuff, but I've had people tell me since I've taken that photo that they see it as well, and it's the same features as my son. So I'm gonna have to put that up on my community page. May not say nothing about it, but if you see Rudy with the cone on his head in my community page, the only way you can see that is subscribe if you're not. I'm gonna post it, and you can zoom into it, and hopefully you can zoom in through the community page big enough to be able to see it. But he's in the bottom right corner of that door. There's no mistaking it. Absolutely not. I've actually, people that have saw it, made a believer in them, you know. They never saw that before, and they believe it now. So do we. But anyway, as far as my shop visit, when I get there, this was the first time I've been there since I've gotten the news. So these guys over there jumped through the hoops for me whenever I got that phone call. You know, I'm an hour and 45 to 2 hours away from my home when I'm over there, and the technician contacted my main contact, which works there, the coordinator of the project for the client, and he came to see, you know. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been at this place many times, so they know me. He took it on his own personal time to drive my car and bring me home. An amazing man, amazing people, amazing company. So when I got to the shop yesterday, it was like, you know, most of the people I don't even interact with came to me and was asking me how I was doing, and just seeing a visual of where I was. There's these really large metal, they're called bunkers. They're very thick, and that's where we do the testing in. When I rounded that corner, it just brought up the memories of what I went through. And it was tough, guys. And I know anyone that's lost a child or someone that was really dear to them understand what I'm talking about. It's unbearable. And this will be, we're in February now, and it's like yesterday to me, when my life was ripped from my heart. And when I say ripped, it was ripped. You know, I thought I was a big person and I can handle about anything. It really changed my the way I know who I am. You know, we prepare for all kinds of things, and the way this world is today is just it's unimaginable what we're seeing. You would have asked me 20 years ago if I would have ever thought that this and that was happening in this world, I would have laughed at you. And it was just a slow evolution of things that's happened in our country that's made us to the point we are today. So in preparedness, we prepare for all of this stuff, or as much as we can. I've got to say, I rest comfortable with a lot of my preparations and the things that I do to take care of my family and others in times of natural disasters or whatever, and some more than just a hurricane or, you know, tornadoes. You can't you can't really be too prepared for that. I mean, if it touches down and you're there, well, you know the end of the story. But you can still prepare for the power outages and any stores being closed by having enough food and everything stocked up. I fell off onto this subject, but just to say, preparedness is, we talk about mental preparedness. Being in the position that I am really made me doubt how prepared I am, because I wasn't ready for what happened to me, my family, Kelly. All you guys know Kelly, my wife. She texted me yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, telling me that she can't stop crying. And I got to be strong for my family. And I tell her, I say, I know what you mean, because I do it on a daily basis, but I keep it hidden. And yesterday, well, I showed my colors yesterday. There was a couple of times that these guys would come up to me and tell me and talk to me, and I'd have to turn and you're gonna have to excuse me, and I'll walk away. Does that make me less of a man? I don't think so. Maybe at the time that I break down or something, I feel that way. But I think anybody would do the same. Because you guys just don't know how strong my love was for my son. I find out that I might have not known how strong my love was with my son. This is a boy that, I call him a boy, but he was a man. He was 26 years old. You couldn't ask for a better child. And him not following me, walking behind me when I walk out the door of my home, asking where I'm going, do I need help with something? He was just there. He was just always there. And the things that he would do, I go back to previous videos, and I actually got to download a lot of the security videos, they're clips of every time emotions set off in certain rooms of my home. It records a clip, a 15-second clip at a time, and then it'll start over. So I spent a lot of time just actually downloading every single video that I possibly could, from the kitchen to the den, the living room, the hallways, the outside, of just him. And his daily routine in the mornings, when he would wake up at about 5:30, he would get up. First thing he would do is head straight to the coffee pot or get a glass of water. From there he'd make his coffee, and then he would be with the dogs, and then he'd go outside and do his little thing, and then he'd work inside the kitchen. He was always doing something. He was always staying active, doing something. And boy, did we feel it now. There's quite a few people in my family. That's me, my wife, my 2 girls, my 3 girls, and Devin. And one of my 3 girls wasn't at home as much as the other 2, because they're young, Zoe and Miley. Well, Kaylee comes, because she works a lot, and there's just a lot of things going on with her that she's not there as much as everyone else. But everybody in my family realizes the amount of stuff that my son's done. It's like everything just can't get right. If you understand what I mean, it's not as smooth without my son being there. It's hard, but anyway, yesterday I was at work from 4 o'clock in the morning till about 2. Their shift is 4 o'clock until 2:30, and that's what I'll be doing today as well. Trying to get these valves out. They're really large valves. They're 30-inch valves. They're swing check valves. I'm sorry, not a gate valve, check valve. All right. This is normally where I stop for coffee, but not today. A lot of little settlements you got to drive through to get to this place, but only bad thing, it's all back roads. And this time in the morning, you got to be careful from the smallest animal to the biggest. There's times that there's a couple of deer that are walking on this road that you have to hope and pray that you don't hit one of them. I run my high beams until there's a car in front of me, but oh darn, there's a car. I guess everybody's waking up. I'm not the only early driver today. And I'm surprised that we pass some areas where a lot of crawfish fields, and this is the season for crawfish, that you'll see crawfish crawling across the road. But I didn't see that yesterday. They'll cross the road to get to the other pond, and it's a really neat thing to see. But we already passed that area, and there was none to show you today in the dark. Not much to see here during the daytime or the nighttime. These are all crawfish fields and rice fields and a few homes in between. This is another little settlement we're coming up to. You gotta watch your speed. I don't know, I figured I'd just make a video this morning. We'll see how well today goes. Oh, and one of my really good friends, he's an inspector like me, but I guess he lives about 2 hours from me. He was at the facility yesterday, and we got to talk. And, he was basically a doctor. He worked in a hospital for many years. Very, very, very smart man. And now he does what I do as well. He does inspections. Anytime that I might have a question on some of, a type of inspection, I'll call him. Especially in coatings, he's a NACE Level 3, which is the highest certification you can have as a coatings inspector as well. I don't have a Level 3, so I called and asked him if I haven't run into an issue. Mr. Chad's a wonderful man, and he told me that he was told through one of the agencies somewhere about my son, and he wanted to call me and talk to me, but he didn't really know what to say, which I told him, I said, man, I understand. And he said, all I would have done was cry if I'd have called you. So we got to talk a lot as well yesterday. And he's seen some teary eyes as well. We was tucked away in an inspector office, so it was just me and him. So not too many people saw my water bag eyes. I plan on putting, There's a lot of videos that Devin had on his phone. I got to figure out how to transfer them because I'm having issues trying to transfer stuff from his phone to where I can put it on mine, to where I can post it on my YouTube channel. I wanted to kind of put like a remembrance type videos, you know, that people can go back and see how he was and what he's done. You know, everybody has their own faults and just like I do and everyone else. There's no one perfect, but you got to look through those when you look at him, and you can see the innocence. Oh my gosh, he was perfect. You know, he would walk out of his room with his clothes on, and he would always button his shirt all the way up to the last button. And it was always something that I would tell him. I would say, Delvin, you're gonna choke. Why do you button that top shirt? He said, well, you gotta look good. I said, you gotta unbutton that. You know, you don't need that top button. But if you see any of his videos, you'll see that shirt's buttoned. And he never wavered either. He always had his shirt buttoned to the top. Clean shaven. He was just perfect. Hair was always, you know, when he started keeping his haircut from, he'd go to this black man in Sulphur. I love that man to death. He had his set haircut that this guy would do for him. I didn't do a video, which of course I don't think really anybody does that, but we had some YouTube creators come to the funeral home for the services. Gary, which is Belt Loop 29. And guys, if you don't know Gary and Eddie with Devil Dog, his wife, Sammy with Godwin Honey, all of those guys are amazing people. Charlie with Pafford Homestead and his wife Brandy. Go back to this, and if you don't know those guys, go ahead and go to their channel, subscribe to them, tell them thank you from us. It'd really be appreciated. Eddie, which his channel name is Devil Dog, it's all one word. Drop in there and tell Eddie and Jamie hello and thank you. Drop in and tell Gary, Tammy, they're with Belt Loop 29. That's all one word. Drop in and tell them hello and thank you. Godwin Honey, all one word. Godwin space Honey, 2 words. That's Mr. Sammy. And Charlie and Brandy with Pafford Homestead. Some of you guys already know these folks. They're just down to earth folks, man. And they came. You know, most of them from Texas. 2 hours away from Texas they drove. And Gary, Belt Loop 29, is from Mississippi, which his trip was really long. And to see that he came, just the outpouring of everybody that came to my son's funeral was amazing. Did not think, you know, because none of these people really knew Devin that much, but they came for our family. And that means a lot. It means a lot to us. We still talk about it today. A lot of companies that I work for, a lot of companies that I go to that I inspect at. We had flowers, plants sent to us. I'm I'm sorry, guys. I'm just this video is not super interesting, but you know, and I can understand if you leave. That's fine. It's just I had to vent a little bit to somebody. We are in the town of Ville Platte, Louisiana. So I used to sell on eBay, and I used to sell for a judge. He was a Supreme Court judge, and he lives here. And in this town, there is where he lives is across the street from, you already might have saw it already, but there's actually a VFW, and there's a big tank that points across the street to where the barrel points is where his home's at. I used to sell a lot of LSU books for him, and he made a lot of money off of that. He really did. Ville Platte's not a big town, it's an old town. And there's only one valve shop, and that's where we're going today. Not too far away from where I am now. It's kind of on the outskirts of town. I'll show you. Some really good people at that place. No one on the road. At 3:45 in the morning. I'm gonna get there just in time. A lot of old businesses here too. I don't know much about Ville Platte. I just know driving through it what it looks like. This is where the old buildings are, like the old stores. They got some old antique stores here, which Kelly loves. Allen's Barbershop. They got murals on their walls just like we do in DeQuincy. That's neat. Ville Platte. There's where I turned left on this road, there's a really huge, well, they used to be, really huge home that's been vacant for years. And I think they started tearing it down, I'm not sure, but every time I used to come for years, when I come this way, I would always say, man, I'd love to have that place. Actually, that next red light is where we're going to turn. We'll see if it's still there. They may have tore it down already. I can't remember now. Turn left if you want to go to Bunkie. And if the home, I think the home, yeah, they did tear it down. So this corner, just to show you, look at the gate that was there. They had like these brick columns all the way around it. It was so huge. It was a 3-story building. Real huge columns on the front. But they finally, they'll tell them what's going to come there. You can't even really see back there because it's too dark. Yeah, you might be able to. Anyway. One benefit, you don't have to deal with traffic when you up this late, this early in the morning. While all of you guys are sleeping, I'm driving. Now, Belt Loop and Devil Dog, they do this live show. So if you're someone that's up late at night, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, they normally end their lives around 2. But they stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't understand how they do it. You get to catch one of their shows. Gary called me yesterday, wanted me to do type of collaboration, just to shout out channels, and we may have to do that with them. May have to do it as a premiere, because doing a live is something that I don't really do. But if we do it as a premiere, then we can do it and schedule it to where people can come in. Now, when I tell you that I found out this news, I just left this gas station right here that morning at 7 o'clock when I got the news of Devin. Picked up a breakfast and drove down the road back to the facility I'm going to be at. Oh, still tugs at me, I'll tell you. I love that boy. And I know he knows that. You know, that night before he went to bed, he would tell us, trying to make sure that we know that he loves us. He kept telling us he loved us out of the ordinary, more than normal, and we would return by saying we love him. You know that. Here we go again. I hope I handled this one great. All of those lights on the right is the start of where I'm going to be today. Huge facilities. But of course, I don't have to go through all of it. I just got one area I got to be in. Oh, and I did a little short on some military equipment. This is still all of them too. All of those buildings. I did a short of some military equipment, and that's coming up as well. And that's where I did it, just to show you. You guys got to follow me and be able to see it. I'll roll my window down so it's clear and get to see it again. There they are. Anywho, well, sorry about the light, guys. They got lights shining all over the place. Nobody in the parking lot. Well, one truck I see, and that's where I'll be parked. And I gotta call my contact in here so he can come and let me in. These people work 24 hours. They got night shifts, and morning shifts are here now, and they have something called reverse parking only. So when you get here, you got to back in, and that's all about safety. End of the day, you ain't got to worry about backing into someone when you're leaving. Well, okay, guys, thank y'all for coming. I'm gonna get this uploaded as quickly as I can. Today's Thursday, so hopefully you'll see it on Thursday. Maybe it'll be uploaded before you actually wake up this morning. Maybe some of y'all. But I'm here. Time to go to work and get it done. All of you guys stay safe, stay well. Keep your head on a swivel. Be careful out there. We'll talk to you guys later.